Hello. Hope everybody's doing well today. The only thing I remember about last time I left off was there was something about rock. That's about it. Also, my tracker's having issues today, and I don't know why. Oh, maybe it's because of I'm wearing a sleeveless shirt. I might do it. Hold on. Oh, severed. How you doing? Court is now in session for... How do I say that? Machi Tobai, Your Honor. The Pixie of the Arpeggio. I'm doing? Oh, that's nice. I was worked... Are you still injured? Right, his trial. Court is in session. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is A-OK, Herr Judge. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. My opening statement, yeah? No, actually. There's something else I wanted to ask you about. Yeah? Say you're going to visit someone in the hospital with an incurable disease. What do you say to them? Eh? I mean, you wouldn't say get well soon, right? You'd only be kicking them when they're down. What? What are you talking about? Yeah, actually, I'm going to visit someone who is terminally ill. Right after this trial. The Chief Justice's son. The Chief Justice? His son is afflicted with the most terrible disease. He doesn't have long, it seems. Ah. So I thought I'd go pay him a visit. I thought saying something moving might be the order of the day. Work is alright, I can recover from that last week? Oh, okay. You can still kicking electricians' asses? Why don't grown-ups ever just say something what's on their mind instead of pretending? She's looking at me with something like disgust. Hey, what are you looking at me like that for? In any case, I'm a bit busy today, so let's wrap this up quickly. Prosecutor Gavin, your opening statement, briefly. You're in luck here, Judge. I believe you'll be going on your hospital visit sooner than you think. First, to review the victim in this case. Romaine Lettuce, age 35. The global manager for diva songstress Lamoureux. The cause of death, blood loss due to being shot by a large caliber revolver. This report has all the details. This court accepts this into evidence. Between 9 and 9:30. Time elapsed between shooting and death currently under review. Apprentice has voiced that he gets extra nervous when I inspect his work, which was a mistake on his end. Now I check up on him extra. Well, I mean, he's a fucking electrician. People's lives are on the stake. Good on you for checking extra. .45 caliber. That's quite large, isn't it? A direct hit from that could knock a man off his feet. However, the bullet struck him in his shoulder. The damage to the body was slight. Death was not immediate. Sadly, his blood loss was such that he could not be saved. I suppose the victim's condition could have been much worse, considering. Just him? How many apprentices do you have? 2? Because I'm an asshole? Hey, at least you're learning. I remember, like, at the very beginning of this, like, you were like, I don't want to yell at people. Sad face. 2 shots were fired. 1 shot missed, the other penetrated and passed through the victim's shoulder. Both bullets were found on the wall of the scene. Observe the diagram. This is where the bullets hit. There are 4 on site and 2 journeymen. Are they all underneath you? I see. The court accepts this evidence. I still don't want to yell at people. That's fair. So you'll just play the asshole card then. We're talking a .45 caliber revolver. You must assume that the killer was adept at weapons use. Really? Yeah, apparently. Weapons that size have a powerful kickback. If, say, that Judge tried to fire one, it'd break every bone in his body. The defense will take more care in choosing examples. As I was saying, the victim was shot backstage in a dressing room. The dressing room only has one entrance, this door. That does seem to be the case, yes. However, there were witnesses who heard the gunshots. Oh, so you're in charge of the journeyman then? And then the journeymen are in charge of the apprentices? You're a pyramid scheme? God, I really should uninstall this app. However, there were witnesses who heard the gunshots. He's talking about you and Emma, huh? You're just... Oh yeah, I forgot you're a journeyman. I don't know why I thought you were higher than a journeyman. Yeah, when the witnesses entered the room, it was empty, save for the victim's body, of course. But that's impossible. Exactly. This murder was impossible. For all but one person. One person. That is, of course, the defendant, Machi Tobai. Only this defendant could have committed the crime? But how? It's quite simple. The circumstances of the crime scene make it clear. Very well, I assume you have testimony to back up this claim. Please show the witness to the stand. Your name and profession, please. Emma Sky. I'm a detective for the police department. I was on security detail at the concert forum that night. Emma seems tired somehow. Security at the concert, you say? Some security I was. Couldn't even stop a murder. Now don't blame yourself. Things like this happen. I've made even bigger mistakes in my career, you know? That's not something you should say. I'm sure that makes her feel much better. I want to hear about these bigger mistakes. In any case, because you were on security detail, the crime was quickly discovered. And we were able to identify the killer. You may give the court your testimony if you would. Describe the circumstances of that day and your discovery of the crime, please. Alright. The night of the murder, I was on security backstage at Prosecutor Gavin's request. Only people involved at the concert in some way were allowed backstage. At the beginning of the third set, I heard shots. I went into the room filled with blaring rock music and found the body. I examined the scene and determined that only the defendant could have done it. was lucky that a detective was first on the scene. That door was the only way out of the room, right? Yeah, pretty much. Then I don't get it. How can they say that Machi did it? Looks like we need a bit more information. Very well, defense may begin in the cross-examination. The night of the murder, I was on security backstage. The night of the murder was the night of the concert, yes? That's right. What's the detective doing on security detail, might I ask? If it was only a concert. My thoughts exactly. But orders are orders, even if they come from rock gods. Prosecutor Gavin? Yes, allow me to explain. I smelled something that day, you might say. The stench of conspiracy. That day at the concert hall. Conspiracy? Well, isn't it obvious? My keys. That whole morning. No, the whole day was ruined. It's all because someone stole my keys. No, Elohim. No, get out of there. Fucking dumbass. Excuse me, sorry. I couldn't ride my hog to the show. I couldn't open my guitar case. There he goes again. Isn't it possible to simply misplace them? Misplace them? Misplaced items just don't wander into a murder victim's hand on their own. What's this? Prosecutor Gavin, if your keys were in the victim's hands, that makes you a prime suspect. Love, slow acting, and new. A troquinine is waiting for you. He's singing something. Does everything with this guy have to be so over the top? Something happened in the middle of my concert. I was, like a sailor, adrift on a sea of sound. Anyway, I didn't want anything else stolen. So, but the detective with the most time on their hands on the task. Oh, that's... poor Emma. I see. I can accept that. Well, I can't. What do you mean, time on their hands? Please, the testimony. Only people involved in the concert in some way were allowed backstage. You were let in, though. I didn't know about that. I certainly didn't invite you. I gave the Fraulein special permission to be there. I wanted to see her again. Oh boy, did you hear that? We're officially involved now. Gee, great. Some other hangers-on tried to get backstage, but I drove them off. So no other outsiders were there then. And then... beginning of the third set, I heard shots. I believe we were having a chat when we heard the shots. You were the one chatting. I was eating snackoos. Hey, no snacking in court. And you're sure the shots came from Labradore's room? Yes, absolutely. I'm the one being cross-examined here. Here, this'll keep you quiet. Ah, thanks. So how about it, Emma? We were right there. Hard to be mistaken about that. Please, either talk or eat, not both at the same time. Right, so after that, me and Mr. Lawyer there opened the dressing room door. Went to the room filled with blaring rock music and found the body. Rock? Blaring, yes. When you say rock, are you referring perhaps to this rock and roll music that's so popular these days? Jesus Christ, this guy's old. That's right, when we went into the dressing room, Music was blaring over the speaker on the wall. They piped sound from the stage into the backstage through speakers. That way people in the back can hear when they're supposed to be on stage. Did it have to be so loud? You don't listen to the Gaviners with your ears. You feel it with your entire body and soul. I want to break this guy's arm. I always have the backstage monitors at full volume. When we walked into the room, the band was playing Guilty Love, I believe, making it easy to determine the time of the crime. If you can hear that music playing, everyone on stage for that song has an alibi, including myself. Anyway, I closed off the scene and started my investigation. I examined the scene and determined that only the defendant could have done it. How could you know something like that? As I said, it was clear from the circumstances. Listen. We know there was only one exit from the room. A door. A small window only opened a tiny crack. I was standing in front of that door. But how could the killer have fled the scene? Oh, congrats on the 35 streak, and hopefully homework goes well. There's only one possibility, the air vent.
Objection!
That air vent was too small. Who could possibly... Exactly. There's certainly no way you could get through, nor me. The only one who could fit through was a child. A child. Remember, access to those rooms was limited. Only those involved at the concert were allowed. And of all the people involved at the concert, only one is small enough to be considered a child. The defendant. Excuse me. Pixie of the arpeggio flitted up towards the sky and disappeared from the scene of the crime.
Objection!
But that's just conjecture. Oh, there was no other way out of that room. You were there, you should know, Hair Forehead. I feel like somebody could have just stuck their arm through the fucking window and shot them and threw the gun in there. And there was another vital piece of evidence. Evidence? What? Marks were found on the air vent grill. Traces that had recently been opened. Wait, what? Something else was found quite clearly. Defendant Machito Bai's fingerprints. What? What? Order, order, order! That air vent was the only way out of that room. The defendant's fingerprints were found on the grill. Well, Hair Forehead? What fairy tale does this suggest to you? Only one could pass through that vent. That doorway to heaven. And that one is our Pixie. Why are you looking at me, Apollo? Hey, I was out whooping it up within the audience. This was his decisive evidence. Quite decisive indeed. I believe that's enough of that. Prosecution has a rather convincing case. The only one in and out of that crime scene was watched. Making the defendant the only one who could possibly leave the scene. Simple and decisive. I believe we have an urge to determine a verdict, even if I wasn't in a hurry to make a hospital visit. I'm sure the Chief Justice will appreciate the gesture. Unfortunately, we have no direct witnesses. Fortunately, the criminal left decisive evidence for us. That will have to be enough. That can't be over already. Very well, I believe this trial is finished. The defendant has no contradicting evidence? The prosecution has presented our proof clear and plain. If you have contradicting evidence, it'd be better clear and plain. Apollo, they got us on the ropes already. Better come up with something quick. I know. Quick and get us out of this. We need evidence or a witness that can prove Machi Tobai is innocent, or Machi is innocent without a doubt. Without that, Mr. Justice, do you have contradicting proof that can overturn the prosecution's case? If you do, you'd better tell us about it now. This is it, and so soon. If I mess this one up, it's all over. Court wants contradicting proof? Wouldn't Lammerwar know something? Prosecutor Gavin, you claimed there were no witnesses to the crime. Are you absolutely sure? Absolutely. I'd swear it on my career as a prosecutor. And on my million-seller hit song, A Troke We Need My Love. There he goes again. That's too bad, because there was a witness. Oh, really now? How did you come to possess knowledge that the prosecution clearly does not? Because I'm the only one in the world that who knows about this. What's going on? I just talked to him, and now... He's alive. Mr. Lettuce, can you hear me? Cold. So cold. Witness. You're cold? Don't worry, you're gonna be fine. Help is on the way. Can't see. Hang in there, Mr. Lettuce. Tell me, who was the witness? The witness is Siren. What? The victim said this before he died. Perhaps he did, and perhaps he did not. What do you mean by that? All we know is what Hair Forehead says he said. It's no testimony, especially if it comes from the defense attorney himself. Objection! But it's the truth. He said it. I even told you about it. But apparently you ignored me completely. It's my policy to fully investigate everything I deem relevant. Clearly this rookie lawyer thinks he can tell me how to do my job. That's enough. Mr. Justice, we need clear contradictory proof from you. This witness of yours, unknown to the prosecution. I hope you're right. Failure carries a stiff penalty. Perhaps a stiffer penalty than usual is called for? Yeah, there's no backing out now. Let's hear the name of your witness, Mr. Justice. Take that! Lammermoor? Recall Mr. Courthouse's last words. Excuse me. The witness is the Siren. The Siren. Aha! He meant the Siren. That's right, the Siren of the ballad, Lammermoor. Lammermoor was only on stage for the second set. She had access to the backstage area. She could have been a witness. I see. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, my claim still stands. There was no witness to this crime. Very well. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth then, shall we? We will now take a break from Detective Emma Sky's cross-examination. Please show Lammermoor to the witness stand. Lammermoor would say nothing the night of the murder. Not today, though. Today she will drag that story out of her no matter what it is. It is my distinct honor to welcome the siren of the ballad to the courtroom. You are too kind. You can speak English. Yes, I can. Oh, I am not very good. There is much I do not know. You speak so well. Have you spent time here before? Actually, I do not know how I came by my knowledge of your language. Nor where I studied it. What does she mean she doesn't know? I too thought to call her as a witness, but I did not. I had a reason, of course. What's that? Lammermoor suffers from amnesia. Oh, fuck. Amnesia? Lammermoor is not my true name. Yet I remember nothing of the time before I was given it. Nothing of the time before I started singing on stage. Oh, she's even more mysterious than I thought. As lauded singer Lammermoor, she lives a good life. There are little difficulties for her, thanks to her success. Yet, I did not wish to subject her to unnecessary stress. I see. I care surprisingly little about people's pasts. You have nothing to fear in this court, Lammermoor. Thank you. Yeah, there is something I do not understand. I'm being called as a witness? What might I say? No one will tell me anything of what happened. Yesterday we had Stairway to the Finals, now we got Highway to Jail. Nice one, Nibby. I like the references. Lammermoor, let me be frank. I did not want to ask you up here to testify. Yet, that young gentleman with the wide forehead over there was adamant that you stand. Oh my. Congratulations, Apollo. You're the bad guy. Ugh. Well, now that you're here, please give us your testimony. If nothing else, the sound of your voice is welcome. Tell us what you saw the night of the crime. As for what I saw nothing. That night I was invited to sing on stage, and this I did. I did not return backstage after the second set. Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room and told to wait there. That is where I learned that something had happened, but I wasn't told the details. I still got alcohol. That shit's so good. I don't know if you guys have it like internationally, but in Canada we have something called Di Serono. I think it's an amaretto. But like an amaretto sour goes so fucking hard. We have Di Serono. Let me spell it out. Disaronno. Exists here, but I don't like it much. That's fair. But that plus lemonade, oh, shit's so good. Have you ever had an amaretto sour, Severed? Or a Di Serono sour? They're the same thing. I had Radler earlier, which is essentially beer mixed with Sprite. I don't like the taste of beer, personally. No idea what you're talking about. Have you not seen those, like, rectangular bottles with a square cap? Let me see if I can find a picture. This stuff. You take this, you put like a shot of it in a glass of lemonade. Oh. But then the company Disaronno started making like pre-made coolers of Disaronno sours. Have you not seen this, Severed? Like these funny square bottles? Oh, okay. That's fair. I didn't think you were much of a drunkard anyways. Hmm. I must say, you sound wonderful just testifying. I hope he was too distracted to hear what she was actually saying. There you have it. She saw nothing that night. I was always a coolers kind of guy. Just because I prefer like actually having flavor to my drinks. Like even if it's fruity. Like my dad quite often had Mike's Hard Lemonade, which I thought was pretty good. And then when yeah, I don't think I've ever had a twisted tea. I'm not the biggest fan of alcoholic iced teas. I think my true foray into uh mixed alcohols was a B-52 shot, which is, let me double check. What is B-52? Not B-52 shit. B-52 shot. Oh, you're supposed to light it on fire? I've never had it on fire. All right. It is a 3-layered cocktail served in a shot glass. Drink consists equal parts Kahlua or coffee liqueur, Irish cream in the middle, and then a triple sec on top. I really enjoy it. It's like it's almost kind of like a warm late autumn shot, I feel. Spiked Arnold Palmer. Ooh, that looks fun. Ooh, sweet and sour. Oh, that actually sounds really good. Um, what's another one I enjoy? Oh yeah, cherry brandy and Sprite go fucking hard together. That's another one I enjoy. Now we can only pray the defense has the sense to admit defeat and refrain from detaining her here any longer than need be. Wow, you just got better, Apollo. Way to go. Ugh. Very well, Mr. Justice. Keep it short and sweet. Stavard, what's your favorite mixed drink? I'm alcohol enemy number one, but alcohol-free beer mixes Sprite or Coke? Sure, that's fair. I don't... Okay, this is going to sound strange at first. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with alcohol in moderation. I've known too many people to get fucking blackout drunk, make stupid decisions while drunk. List goes on. But that's due to the person not being able to control themselves or know their limits. Or being antagonized to reject their limits, I guess. Part charm and part spite. That's perfectly reasonable. Like, I know a lot of people have bad experiences with it, but... Like, I told you guys about my coworker jumping out of my car while it's moving. Because he was fucking drunk, right? May I introduce you to Germany? We can lower... What the fuck? Why is that a thing? In Canada, if you claimed that, you would have just been like, "Yeah, stupid is it, stupid does." Lammermoor wouldn't talk to me the night of the crime. She must know something, and I've got to find out what. Well, you must have seen something. Mr. Lettuce named you. Mr. Lettuce? How can I tell you what I don't know? Amaror, he said you were a witness to his dying words, Germany worships alcohol. 40 over the speed limit, $200, license gone for a year. Oh, you were drunk? Oops, my bad, that makes only $50 a year. Jesus. I know a couple countries in Europe that are like that. The Asgore meme is literally Germany. Oh, shit. That's fucked and funny at the same time, I'm sorry. I do not know what he meant to say, but that night I was invited to sing on stage, and this I did. It was a great concert. You heard me sing? Thank you. I was hoping to get an autograph later, actually. Of course. Mr. Justice, this is a cross-examination. You're out of line. If anyone deserves an autograph here, it's me. One on my gavel would be nice. Herr Judge. What's this? It's my autograph. Now keep this trial moving. What? Oh, my grandchild will be so happy. His grandson is a big fan. End of the day, it's the person's choice to drink. In the first place, know your limits, play with it. Exactly, Severed. That's why I limit myself mostly to 1 cooler a day. I'm never fucking drinking a whole bottle of wine ever again. There was a fucked up incident where I almost blacked out, like, hardcore. My friends got so worried that one of them almost fucking bust down my back door trying to get in. Most recently, we had a guy crash into a crowd at 70, killing 4 of them, which would have normally been a life sentence. But oh wait, he was drunk. He got 4 years of parole. Wow. My Japanese genes can get me drunk off like 3 more. Severed, you're gonna be a riot to party with whenever we meet. I say jokingly, I don't expect you to drink. Let us continue, shall we? If you would, Lammermoor. Tell us what you did after your stellar performance. I did not return backstage after the second set. You did not return backstage once? Where were you then? What were you doing? I get drunk if you only carry me past the beer aisle in the supermarket. That's impressive, newbie. I was cleaning up on stage. There are many things I must do for a performance other than simply sing. And was Machi with you at the time? Unfortunately, I do not know where he was. So much for an alibi for Machi. I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room and told to wait there. With Machi, correct? How was he then? He seemed as he always does. So I believe he was shocked by the news of Mr. Latouse's death. Yet, he is not the type to show much emotion. But the problem is they didn't know. I think? Yes, he has given the police no end of headaches. He answers in most questions with silence. And those glinting frames speak nothing. The questioning hasn't gotten very far. We sat there waiting. That was where I learned that something had happened, but I wasn't told the details. How was the incident explained to you? I was told nothing in detail, only that Mr. Lettuce died. Of course, investigations require some security. But Mr. Latouce was my manager. I wanted to know more. I should have been told. Both Machi and I were beside ourselves with concern. Allow me to apologize, but please understand. Keeping you in the dark was as painful for me as it was for you. Yes, I understand. Ingor doesn't ring true about her testimony. It's hard to imagine Lammervor lying. She might not be lying, but she's hiding something. Why didn't she tell me the night of the murder? Oh, no, I just realized. This is wrong. Oh, wait, no. This is found at the crime scene. Bitch. I'm sorry, Lammeror, but I'm having trouble believing you. You remember this brooch, do you not? Why, it's Lammeror's. She was wearing it for her song. Care to add that to the testimony, Prosecutor Gavin? What? This brooch was found after the murder took place. At the very scene of the crime. What? Lammeror? How did your brooch get backstage if you did not go there yourself? And as Prosecutor Gavin has just told us, you had been wearing it during your performance that night. What is the meaning of this? Lammeror, please explain. Lammeror? He says English is quite difficult. That trick's not gonna work here. Are you winning, son? So far, so good. Your forehead may be large, but you are a lawyer, truly. But you have missed one important fact. What now? In fact, at the time of the incident, I went backstage, but only for a moment. What? Anyway, sorry for bothering you about your Discord server, Vimo. Figured if anybody should know, it's probably you. Think back to the moments of the crime. You know whereof I speak. Is she really saying all that? What's she talking about, Apollo? Right when the incident occurred. Ah! Is she talking about that? Watch this room for me. I have to call for backup. Right, understood. Gotta make sure no one comes in, right? Mr. Lettuce, can you hear me? Cold, so cold. Witness. You're cold? Don't worry, you're gonna be fine. Help is on the way. You've been dealt with? Alright. Can't believe BMO just fucking speared them off the fucking heaven or else platforms. The witness is Siren. Siren. How can a witness say anything? Yes, Emma? What was that? Who's there? What's wrong? Emma, did you see anyone just now? No. I could have sworn I heard a door close. I forgot that was an emote. I looked into the room. Just a glance, mind you. So this is when your brooch dropped? That explains that. It does. There was no other time I could have dropped it. But that's ridiculous. You only looked in for an instance, but you dropped your brooch? Excuse me. Hair forehead. He has raised a possibility. The only thing that can counter that is evidence. So she looked in at the crime scene. Actually, I intended to go into the dressing room. I knew nothing of what had happened, of course. But the moment I opened the door, I heard a horrible voice. Her forehead shouting, "Who's there?" No doubt. A horrible voice indeed. I closed the door immediately. All that explains the brooch. Let's return to your testimony. That's too convenient. She's hiding something. Lemuror, you did look into the room though, right? Yes. Testify as to what you saw. Very well, that was only the briefest of glimpses. This just triggered. When my performance was finished, I went backstage for just a moment. What did you see in that brief glimpse? I'd only opened the door slightly when I heard that horrible voice. And shut the door. I've always wondered, Hair Forehead. Does that voice of yours lack a volume knob? My cord's of steel, man. Just back off. Saw nothing. The late Mr. Letitia's body was behind a wall. A wall? Was there a wall there? Is it what in English? A division or partition, I believe. It was a large dressing room divided into two halves. The murder took place in the inside half. I guess a partition might have hidden the body. the fuck? I feel like I'm supposed to perceive something. Oops. If you can, newbie, can you search up, like, a walkthrough and tell me if I'm supposed to perceive something? Don't tell me what I'm supposed to perceive, just tell me if I am supposed to. Maybe it's this? Because you can kind of see... I feel like it's something to do with like her face because it's hidden. She stops moving her mouth when she talks about Mr. Latos's body. There it is. I just see it.
Gotcha!
The late Mr. Lettuce's body, you say? Yes? Yes, something more about Mr. Lettuce's death than you are saying. What? I can see you trying not to remember. The effort made you swallow. You can't fool my eyes. It is true. It was so terrible after all. Why did Mr. Lettuce have to be shot? One moment, Lammerlore. Yes? What was that you just said? Why did Mr. Lettuce have to be shot? Yes? He was hiding something. I knew it. I'm afraid you haven't realized it, but... your words just now contradicted your testimony. Eh? How could that be? Take this. Damara contradicted her own testimony. I have evidence to prove it. It would have to be this, wouldn't it? Because the gun's hidden behind the partition?
Take that!
If I do not misunderstand the meaning of contradiction, it is you who contradict, Mr. Justice. Huh? Your evidence is meaningless. Wrong evidence. Oh, fuck. Where's Miss Coleslaw? Why did Mr. Lettuce have to be shot? That's right. That is totally contradicts her testimony. Take this. Would it have to be this?
Take that!
Tell me, Lammermoor, how did you know that he had been shot? Eh? Well, immediately following the incident, a gag order was placed on the scene. This is the document proving that. In your testimony, you told the court, no one told me anything about the incident. Ah. Furthermore, you testified that you had seen nothing. Yet you knew that Mr. Lettuce had been shot. How could you have known? Youk! Damn, it wasn't a youch. Excuse me. Lammermoor. You aren't hiding something from this court, I hope. That sweet song of hers was sounding a little too sweet. Ah, now I remember. Save just in case. Lammermoor's Haki, one of my favorite characters. Nice. Please, allow me to add to my testimony. Of course. All we want to know is the truth. He looks kind of pale, huh? He saw something, I know it. Even the victim said so. I saw bullet holes in the wall. I knew Mr. Lettuce had been shot.
Hold it!
Only a glimpse, yet you knew they were bullet holes? Yes, I recognized them immediately. I've seen some bullet holes before, you know. I've traveled the world as a singer. I must have sung in places far more dangerous than our country. I go wherever my voice is needed. Those places are many these days. That's really cool. I hope I get to travel like Lammermoor someday. I plan on recording my next album overseas. The studios have a different sound, you know. Maybe I should go on a Cords of Steel tour too.
Objection!
She couldn't have seen the bullet holes. The door was opening the wrong way. Lies are hardly becoming of such a creature. Oops. Amaro, they call you the siren of the bell, but lies are hardly becoming of such a creature. Okay. I'll put down worthy of our prosecutor, Mr. Justice. Put downs are hardly becoming of you, Apollo. Stop polishing your forehead, start polishing your character, yeah? Come on, can't it be cool for once? Observe the diagram. Lammermoor, you looked in from the door for just a moment. Correct? Yes, that is so. There are bullet holes in the room, yes? They're in the wall the door is on. Hey. You see, assuming you merely glanced into the room, you couldn't have seen those bullet holes. Youk! Lammermoor? Yes? I'm afraid the defense has raised a good point. It appears you have been holding back something. And I must tell you, in the gesture something, there will be jail time perceiving the. There will be jail time perceiving the truth is a lot of work. That's pretty good. I must tell you what it is that I saw. Yes, the happenings in this trial are being recorded. And I'm certain it will be the news on the news in Virginia. You understand your reputation is at stake. It falls to you to avoid tarnishing it. Personally speaking, I still believe that cross-examining her will yield us absolutely nothing. But she knew about how Mr. Latos died, and he named her as a witness. You must have seen something, Lammermoor. Very well. Lammermoor, please continue your testimony. Very well. I shall. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That hole, I saw it. For 2 shots, I couldn't do anything to stop it. But it wasn't Machi. It was a grown person. I know it was. So you did witness the crime. And the killer was a grown person, you say? Ah. This is my first time hearing this, I assure you. Nice play, Herr Forehead. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your cross-examination. Get going, Apollo. You were right about Lammermoor. What's wrong? You don't look too happy. This whole thing smells fishy. That's what's wrong. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. So you were heading towards the dressing room? Yes. So this is a little before she opened the dressing room door and dropped her brooch. But at the same time Emma and I heard those shots, I was on my way back. There's something like a little window there. That's the hole. That's how I saw it. Oh, no spoilers, newbie, yet until I'm stuck. What exactly is something like a little window? Yes, well, window is the best word I know in English. I think this is how it is said, yes? You need not worry, Lammermoor. Your choice of words is impeccable. There's a small window in the dressing room in question. Perhaps the defense remembers this detail? A little window on the wall. I saw the crime from there. 2 shots. Couldn't do anything to stop it. You are certain you heard 2 shots fired? Yes, quite certain. I was on my way to the backstage exit. This is when I heard a faint sound, like a gunshot. A faint sound? Wondering what it had been, I peered through the window. That is when I heard the second gunshot, much closer. There were 2 bullet holes at the scene, no contradiction so far. It all happened on the other side of that window. There was nothing I could do. But it wasn't Machi. It wasn't Machi who shot? Are you sure? Yes, quite certain. It amuses that me that you would question her testimony. Is testimony in your favor? Isn't it my job to object? Yeah, Apollo, what were you thinking? Seriously, let's just listen to what Lammermoor has to say. Can you tell me how you were so sure? Yes, of course. You see, it was a grown person. I know it was. A grown person. That is a little vague. I am sorry. My skill with your language is lacking, I know. Certainly, you could at least see whether the shooter was male or female. It was a man. A young man. Your Honor, the defense is innocent. As evidence, I present the fact that the defendant is always innocent in these fucking games. No. I think. No, wait, no, I was mistaken. I was thinking about, oh, who's the guy who slashed his face? Matt Ungard, I think? That and... Iris. Both Iris and Matt were conspirators to the crime. And you're sure of that? What's Thursday? Was there newbies? I think the whole series only one defendant that's genuinely guilty. Okay, is it a game I've played? It's not a game I've played? Damn it. Why is my phone not sending fucking texts? Yes, his voice was quite clear. Voice. I mean, guilty hasn't... Okay, which... I don't want to ask which game because I feel like that's spoilery. No. Looking at this diagram, it seems the dressing room was quite cluttered. It does seem likely that you wouldn't have had a clear view of the shooter. It seems likely that you wouldn't have had a clear view of the shooter. As a singer, I rely more on my ears than my eyes. When I hear a voice, I do not forget it. That voice was the voice of a man. So you heard a voice, but wait. Couldn't that have been the victim, Mr. Lettuce? Absolutely not. Did I not just say that I do not forget a voice? If it was Mr. Lettuce who spoke, I would have known. Indeed. So you were at the window and you heard the shooter's voice, the voice of a young man. Paul, this is a good testimony. That proves it wasn't Machi. Indeed. If this turns out to be true, it would cast this case in a considerably different light. What is the defense's opinion of this testimony? Oh God. Oh no. I don't like this. Though it pains me to say this. There's something about Lemmervor's testimony that rings false. Bravo, hair forehead. You're colder than I thought. I'm sure you remember what the problem is as well as I do, Gavin. As it's been established, no grown man could pass through that air vent. You couldn't have fled the scene of the crime. But that means Lemmervor has to be lying. I know, and it's bad for our case, but I can't shut my eyes to this. Believe me, the idea was tempting. It is as Hair Forehead says. Yet this is not the only contradiction within her testimony. But what next? What's he talking about? By fact, doesn't matter which option you choose. If you say the testimony is good, then collaborate. Aww. Fucked either way. Lemmervor, I understand why you would want to protect Machi. Yet remember, you are the siren of the ballad. And lies do not become such a creature. What does the prosecution mean? Paulo, what's he talking about? How come no one bats an eye when he says stuff like that? I recall the state of the crime scene quite well. The state of the room. Yes, and when the murder took place, that window was closed. I find it hard to believe you could hear a voice through it. What? But I'm sure... Lemmervor, I have nothing but the highest regard for your musical sense. But my opinion of you as a witness is somewhat lesser.
Objection!
But she's the only eyewitness we have.
Objection!
So you say. The victim named her, the siren, as the witness? That's right. That's what Mr. Lettuce... We heard your claim. We even entertained the possibility, and it brought us to this. Herr Judge. Yes? Prosecution requests that the witness be excused. Please. I'm afraid I must honor the prosecution's request. There's indeed a question of the witness's credibility. But if Lemmervor can't testify, then we don't have a chance of proving Machi's innocence. This cross-examination is over. Prosecutor Gavin. You may continue making your case. Danke. Now where were we? Oh yes, I would like to hear from Fraulein Detective again.
Objection!
Wait, let me hear Lemmervor's testimony one last time. The prosecution or the cross-examination is already over. Until such a time as a need arises, this witness may leave the stand. I'm sorry I could not be of more assistance. Fuck. Alas, back to the real trial. Ready, Hair Forehead? I hope I didn't just miss my only chance. Fraulein Detective, how far had we gotten until we were so rudely interrupted? Don't ask me. I just like saying the same thing twice. And I never repeat a song for an encore. If you would, Miss Sky. I believe I was saying that the only way Mr. Lettuce's killer could have escaped was through that air vent in the ceiling. Yes, there was only one door in the room, and as a witness, you was standing in front of it. That air vent is very big, you see. Kind of limits the people who could possibly get through. I certainly would have had a difficult time. You sure would. Not that you would have been there in the first place, though. Remember, the whole backstage area was off limits to people not involved in the concert. The only one who meets the conditions for our killer is the defendant. For virtuoso performance. I couldn't have put it better myself. She does state a clear case. Though, reading the report, something caught my eye. Oh, what's that? The circumstances of the defendant's arrest. Circumstances? Again? Hey, that's right, Apollo. Remember when we found Machi? That was bizarre. She's right. Why did Mr. Lettuce's body disappear from the room? And end up on that on top of that stage tower? Holding a guitar, no less. A perceptive observation, Herr Judge. Thanks. It was kind of an accident, really. But you work in this job long enough, you get a nose for things. The judge sure seems pleased with himself. Fuck. Why is that a tongue twister? Very good, Fraulein Detective. Perhaps you can tie it all together for us. Why was the body moved? And how does that lead us to the killer? I believe Machi stole the body because of some lyrics. He moved the body to match Lamoureux's song. Well, this country had a motive to kill the victim. And Machi practically left his signature at the scene. All of this evidence clearly points to the defendant. Lamoureux's song? Yes, the guitar serenade. You noticed its code too, did you not? Its code? All of the evidence that day followed the lyrics to our song. First, the keys to my heart held on so tightly were stolen. The prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flames on stage. Mr. Latos's body was life was taken by a bullet. The rest hardly needs an explanation. Guitar, up together to the sky. That's mad. Like a story out of some fairy tale. I admit I'd forgotten about the song. But here it is now, waiting for me. The grand finale, as it were. Hey, you know I was the one who first noticed that. I've heard of jumping rope to songs and counting to songs. But killing? It's a wild world out there, Herr Judge. Very well. We've heard of one song and dance, let's get on to the next, the cross-examination. I'm not so sure I'm going to be doing much singing. My brain hurt. I believe Machi stole the body because of some lyrics.
Hold it!
Who would steal a body just to match some lyrics? I didn't believe it myself, but that just can't be a coincidence. I want to see something. These two lines here, wraps itself around me now through the air I fly. Kind of strange. I hope that comes into play later. Yes, it is as Fraulein Detective says. Let's begin with the first verse, if you would, Fraulein Detective. What? You want me to sing it? You are the witness, yeah? Or did you just want me to sing? I warn you, my fee as a vocalist is not trivial. Fine, fine. Ahem. Look at the first part of the lyrics, shall we? When you stole away the keys my heart held onto so tight. Indeed, my favorite heart-shaped key rings was stolen that morning. Next, we go to the right page of the lyric sheet. Or I find, burning on my heart, fire, burn my love away, all away. As we know, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flame. Like a bullet of love, fire, take my life away, all away. Mr. Lettuce's life was taken by a bullet. Bravo, Fraulein Detective. You're singing. It's not bad. Now for the finale. Guitar, guitar, up together to the sky. As it says in the lyrics, Mr. Lettuce was found with a guitar high in the sky over the stage. No series of coincidences could be so well conceived. He's right, scientifically speaking. What would Waki have said? That concert was whack? Oh, sorry. It's hard to argue when she pours her heart into it like that. Anyway, the shooter moved the body to match Lamoureux's song. Does the prosecution have any idea why he'd do all this? Well, my scientific opinion? No clue. But he clearly had a reason to go through all that trouble. Some deep reason. A deep reason? Not only did he steal my keys, he torched my guitar. Excuse me. Unforgivable acts even if you had a reason. And worse if he had none. The diva's complaints aside, I can't imagine someone doing this just on a whim. Fraulein Detective. I take offense to that description. Indeed, it does seem well too rehearsed, shall we say. Yes, the scrum was planned for sure. Well, this country had a motive to kill the victim. But Mr. Letou spoke English. He may have come to this country before. I looked into that, I assure you. Oh. It was his first time in the country, it seems. Apparently, he learned English on his own. You see? No one here had a motive to kill him, and certainly not in such an elaborate fashion. Does seem difficult to imagine. Unless our famous prosecutor did it as a publicity stunt. What did you say? Man, I love Emma back-talking Clavier like this. So fucking good. Prosecutor Gavin, you did this to promote your song? Of course not. I am quite dismayed by the ludicrous nature of her claim. Why would I need promotion? Everyone already listens to my music. Humble he is not. They're even in my textbook at school. And I never heard of them. What does that say about me? I was just kidding. Don't get all worked up, Glimmer Boy. Machi practically left his signature at the scene. What do you mean by his signature? The bullet holes in the wall, of course. Bullet holes? The revolver was fired twice. One shot missed and left a hole in the wall. That means what exactly? That dressing room isn't exactly spacious. Picture the shooter facing off with the victim in there. They can't have been more than 5 feet apart. It would be difficult, almost impossible to miss at that range. Difficult to miss, you say? Very. Assuming the shooter could properly aim. No, you can't be serious. Hi, Thor. Hi. Thor. Machi, he can't see. That's why he missed? It's the only explanation that makes sense. He used sound and other senses to fire the gun. Poorly. That reminds me, the monitor in that room was blurring at the time, yeah? Part of the ideal conditions for tracking by sound. Blind shooter. No wonder he missed. I knew those bullet holes would come back to haunt me. Think, Justice, what would I do now? I'm going to raise an objection. There were bullet holes left in the wall. That doesn't prove the shooter couldn't see. Oh, how so? Well, there could have been a struggle with the victim. That's certainly possible. And it might have been the revolver's fault. The revolver? The revolver was a very large caliber, correct? If the shooter wasn't used to firing such a large weapon, why, it could dislocate their shoulder. Exactly. The defendant, Machi Tobai, is, as you can see, tiny. It's not so hard to picture him firing the gun when missing entirely. The kickback alone would throw off his aim. Convincing argument, to be sure. Aha, take that, smug prosecution. I love Apollo's shit-eating grin. Apollo? Huh? What? A bit about Machi being tiny. And the gun throwing off his aim? Aren't you kind of, admitting that he did it? Oh. Does not matter why he missed. What matters is that the shooter was, without a doubt, the defendant. Even the defense seems to agree on that point. Perhaps I really put my foot on it this time. Let's get the facts of the matter on the record. If you would, Fraulein Detective. Very well, the witness will add this to her testimony. Right. In the state of the crime scene, I conclude that the shooter was blind. You can't say he was blind just because of those bullet holes in the wall. I think I've proven that. I wouldn't call it proof per se. Huh? Merely raised a possibility. Fraulein Detective has made the most logical conjecture based upon the evidence. Of course, there is more evidence than just bullet holes. The defendant was the only one who could have escaped the air vent.
Objection!
But wait, if he was blind, how would he know about the air vent in the first place? Ah, very good point. Well, Fraulein Detective, if you would care to explain. He certainly seems sure of himself. Recall the crime scene if you would. There was a stepladder below the air vent. As it happens, maintenance was scheduled for that day. Fuck. Custodial staff went around checking all the air vents. I don't believe it. Everyone backstage was told about the maintenance, including Machi Tobai. You'd have known that there would have been a way out at the top of that stepladder. Why is this the first time I'm hearing about this? You could have figured it out for yourself. You only needed to consider that what the stepladder was doing there. Instead, Vance's objection has been squished by a stepladder. Well, there, forehead? Out of ammunition, perhaps? Never seen Prosecutor Gavin so aggressive. Maybe he's caught the scent of blood. Paul, don't you have something? Anything? You know what we need? We need something to prove the killer could see. That'll put him in his place. Proving the shooter was sighted would do it. I will take down one of their central points. Do I have any evidence that can prove that, though? I feel like it would be this because there's all this crap in the middle of the room. Fine, I accept the prosecution challenge. As I knew you would, Hair Forehead. What exactly am I up against here? Prosecution is saying the shooter missed because they couldn't see. Therefore, Machi, who's blind, did it. Defense will please present their evidence. Evidence that overturns the prosecution's claim that the shooter couldn't see. I'm not sure that overturns anything, Mr. Justice. Fuck. Wrong evidence, I'm guessing. Apparently both love and justice are blind. I think there must be something. Anything. Of course, we don't panic. Even though Machi's case is leaking water by the gallon, Gavin's on a roll and it's up to me to stop him. I'm just thinking because of the writing. This is that evidence. Photograph of the crime scene? I don't care much for the smirk on Prosecutor Gavin's face. This is no time to think twice. Time to press on. Yes, Your Honor, the crime scene. There's something in here that decisively contradicts the prosecution's point. And perhaps you'd best show us something. Get your finger out of the breeze and put it to good use, yeah? Very well. Show us show us what you're talking about, Mr. Justice. Contradiction at the scene of the crime is...
Take that!
The contradiction is right here. The smeared bloodstains? I thought it was just my blurry vision. But it really was blurry. The way the victim's hand is raised above his head. Much like a gesture that I've seen many times in this court. Almost as if he wrote something. Aha! I get it. At least I think I get it. Okay, what, Fraulein? When Mr. Lettuce was shot, he tried to write something. What would he write by the shooter's name? And what would he write in it but his own blood? Pretty good, right? Thanks for making my point for me. Yes, in fact, that's what I think happened here. That does seem to have a distinct possibility. The victim wrote the killer's name. It's certainly a logical conclusion. Drat, I just wish it wasn't all rubbed out like that. Of course it's rubbed out. Why, if I were a killer, I certainly wouldn't want to leave my own name behind. Neither would I. No one has anything else to say? About what? So the prosecution accepts this. You agree that this was the victim making an attempt to record the name of the killer? And that the killer tried to rub the name out? What's your point? What's my point? Let me ask you this. How did the killer know the victim was writing their name? Well, Mr. Lettuce was writing something in blood. Once the killer saw what it was... Wait. Once he saw what it was... What did you just testify about the shooter? I said they were blind. Ack! Yeah, the crime scene itself contradicts that. The killer had to have been able to see. Why would they rub out the name in blood otherwise? Elohim keeps getting covered in charcoal. It's adorable but fucking frustrating. Elohim. Hi. Are you mad at me for trying to wash you? Your fault for getting covered in charcoal. Up. There you go. Tiny good boy. Oh, why are you licking my arm? Good scratchy boy. Oh, what a good boy. Okay. Your fault for not having a charcoal resistant household. Well, it's not my fault my cat's a dumbass. Also, how's it going, Ska? No, I had an empty charcoal bag that I've been tearing apart and using for grilling. Elohim tipped it over and got inside. I posted pictures in my Discord, but that was a lesser extent of the damage. He didn't spread charcoal everywhere, he just got charcoal on himself. Why would they rub out the name in blood otherwise? May I remind the court that the defendant, Machi Tobai, is blind. He couldn't have been the shooter. Like, I'm impossible. Order, order, order! Prosecutor Gavin, please explain to me what all this means. I mean, looking at this photo, it seems quite clear that the shooter could see. Up until now, seems I owe the court an apology. The Gaviners are a band with law enforcement ties, yet a murder occurred during our concert. Apparently, this caused some confusion over jurisdiction. As a result, some reports were not filed in an entirely timely manner. I'm not sure I like the vibe I'm getting here. Sorry. Cat wanted licking. Hey, Apollo, look at him. Why is Prosecutor Gavin all relaxed and smiling like that? Like he knows something we don't. And he's about to tell us. I've got an idea. Let's rock with these documents. But before that, I have a question for the Fraulein detective. If I may. What? Tell me. Why do you think that Machi Tobai is blind? Huh? What did he say? What are you saying? Of course he's blind. Of course. He's the blind pianist, right? So he's... Doesn't Lamoureux lead him around by the hand all the time? No way. I have a report here on the defendants, Machi Tobai. According to this, Machi Tobai can see perfectly well. What? His blindness was merely a publicity ploy by those clever Borginians. He can see quite well.
Objection!
But you said... What did I say exactly? Therefore, not once in this course of this trial have I claimed the defendant was blind. The only one who did it was Fraulein Detective. But that's a significant fact, yes. Consider, Machi Tobai sees. He was the only one who could have fled through the air vent. I see no problems with this. But what about the bullet holes in the wall? Yes, the bullet holes. I believe Herr Ford neatly explained those for us. He didn't miss because he couldn't see. It was the kickback from the .45 caliber revolver. A simple accident, in other words. How's that? I'm afraid your objection has just flown off for brighter skies. This is where the real fun begins, Herr Forehead. Yeah. I'm not good at screaming. I knew you didn't have what it took. You jerk. So what was I in here for? Comic relief? Yeah, apologize. Oh, sorry. That's no way to apologize. He's angered that truce you now. Look out. Ahem, if we can please end the bickering. Now. Whatever, I'm not leaving. I can't leave like this. I'll come up with some clue to solve this case if I have to, if it kills me. Your testimony has already given us enough to convict the defendant. Don't say that. Aha! Aha, what? This bloodstain. The criminal tried to wipe it off, right? That seems to be what happened, yes. We'll be able to find out what was really written here. Really? You can do that? That's right. With this. It's called luminol. Maybe you know of it? It's a chemical that reacts to blood. Ah yes, we have done those. Have we done those tests yet? As if I'm going to tell you. Bloodstains covered a section of the carpet. In order to perform blood tests, that section was removed and submitted. Perhaps we should request it in here in court now. Right, go for it, Apollo. Huh? I have to do the test? You just have to spray the luminol on it. Simple. Chemical that reacts to blood. I've heard of this somewhere. Yes, I believe an analysis is called for. Have at it. Right, ready? It's as easy as pie. Just press it, space to spray an area. Here, give it a try. That's the entire court are focused on me. Paul, your hand's shaking. Ugh. Let's do this. Wow, it really works. IPYX 314206. Hold on, I want to try some. It doesn't say anything upside down. Well, I tried. This must be the power of science. It says IPXX 314206. Is that the killer's name? Maybe it is, if the killer was a robot. Aha, I have it. What is it? I thought those letters IPXX looked familiar. This is an Interpol ID number. Interpol? You mean the International Police Agency? Yes, most are undercover agents working to solve international crimes. Why would he write that number? Why would Mr. Latos even know a number like that? Show, Fraulein Detective. Rock on. Eh? Your Honor, we can verify this number immediately. Darian, are you there? Come up to the witness stand. Darian? You heard what we need. Go check into this Interpol ID number. Sure thing. Give me 30 minutes. No, give me 27. I'm not sure what to think of all this. Final, did you make sure your cat didn't learn fire magic after interacting with the charcoal? Fucker already knows fire magic. He is my pet after all. My best buddy. I'm going to teach him fire magic. A cat with fire magic will only go well. I'm not sure what to think of all this. Prosecution's case is airtight, or so it seems. Yet if this number is really that of an Interpol agent... Oh wait, I know. What if Machito Bai really an undercover Interpol agent? That would be a possibility. A possibility, yes. And one that would mark him as the killer for certain. Why did Latos now know an Interpol ID number? That's what I want to know. Well, we have some time while we wait for Darian's report. Let's work on unraveling another mystery, shall we? A curious mystery considering Machito Bai. What are you talking about? Fraulein Detective, please accept my apologies. I received word the defendant could, in fact, see just before the trial began. Seemed too much of a bother to tell you. You had me until that last bit. Does this not raise a rather straightforward question? Well, sure. Why did Machi pretend he couldn't see? Exactly. Makes little sense. What do you think, Air Forehead? Huh? Me? Machi Tobai pretended he was blind. Do you know why? How could he know? Wait, Prosecutor Gavin knows why, doesn't he? I thought he just said it was a publicity stunt. He's known from the start of the trial. He's been leading us on the whole time. Something wrong? Do you think perhaps this has all come some kind of a game? Know that the moment I heard that report, I knew why. Suppose people who have sold over 1 million records really are something else. What does it have to do with anything? There was a reason why Machi Tobai pretended to be blind. But it wasn't for his own sake. But it wasn't for his own sake. Getting the picture now? It wasn't for himself. Well, Mr. Justice? Can you present evidence that shows us why the defendant had to feign blindness? I don't. I have no idea. Ha, fair for it. I'm disappointed in you. Unless you're merely feigning stupidity, yeah? Keep it up, wise guy. Recall the relationship of Lammerroar and Machi Tobai. In particular, their arrangements over the years before visiting our country. Lammerroar and her pianist. They would always walk together, she leading him by the hand. Even when they got on stage, she would lead him to the piano. He would walk all the way over there with them. That's right, because he was blind, or so we thought. I forgot to ask Firefall, how are you doing? You're still kicking about. He led him at all times. All times. Is Lammerroar the blind one? Yep, we now know that Machi could see perfectly well. Why keep up the charade? Well, it wasn't part of their performance. There was a simpler explanation, Fair Judge. Machi did not need to be led by the hand at all. Which means... You don't mean... I do. It was the other way around. The one who needed to be led by the hand was Lammerroar. What's this? So you mean to see that Lammerroar is... She's... blind as a bat here, Judge. What? What? Order, order, order. This is crazy, Prosecutor Gavin. Yeah, wasn't she supposed to be the landscape painter in the sound or something? Well, since we have her here, I'd ask Lammerroar herself. I believe she's still in the witness waiting room. Paula, what does this mean for our case? Don't ask me. I had no idea she couldn't see. I hadn't even imagined it until now. Bailiff, bring in Lammerroar. Lammerroar, it pains me deeply to call you before us again in this way. And yet I must. Please do not be concerned on my behalf. Those eyes, she really can't see. Really? It is true. How funny it is that a tiny lie born in the Borginian countryside would one day grow to entangle the whole and the entire world. So you are? Yes. As I mentioned before. I have no memory of the time before I became Lammeror. Know too many that my memories begin in darkness. The word light has no meaning for Lammeror. Oh, that's sad. I see. You may recall me saying something toward the beginning of this trial at forehead. What's that? I believe I said it was unfortunate this crime had no direct witnesses. Ah. Now, Lammeror, I must ask you to stand once more. Will you testify to the court about your eyes? Of course. It was never my intent to deceive any of you. May I begin, Your Honor? Yes, of course. Well, I admit I'm a little lost here. I think we're all a bit lost here, Your Honor. I have no memory of the light. I debuted in a world of darkness and sound. My producer came up with my PR line before he knew this. So silly as it may sound, I had to pretend I could see. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no others. But this is a murder trial. I apologize, it was part of my contract, you see. It was to keep my blindness a secret, no matter what. Music is everything for me. I never imagined something like this would. She told us the truth in the beginning, when she said she saw nothing. Oh. Fuck. Very well, does the defense have anything to add? I'd like to cross-examine. But what is there left to ask? There was one thing in her testimony that bothered me. Perhaps it is best we let you get it out of your system. Someday I'll come to understand the importance of thinking for yourself. Very well, the defense may proceed. However, be aware this court will not tolerate any questions deemed too stressful to the witness. Okay. There's only one part that bothered me. Just let me ask about that and I'll be happy. Am I gonna be penalized if I fucking ask? So you don't know why you went blind? I do not. I may have been born this way, in fact. Fruitless to attempt to pry into her past. And, I might add, it's a delicate subject. I'm not sure we can reasonably expect Mr. Justice to do anything delicately. Hey, why I oughta take a deep breath and calm down. What I am now is all that I have. It is enough, I think. Aren't you nervous to hit the stage in your condition? No, not at all, surprisingly. It felt natural, singing in front of everyone. It's not something that just anyone can do. She has talent, that much is quite clear. Might even say that she's beloved by the gods of music. Even without light, I live perfectly happy in my world of sound. If that is a talent, as you say, then I thank the gods responsible. What about your PR motto? The producer came up with my PR line before he knew this. Perhaps your music reminded him of the Borginian scenery? Haha, no, it's quite the opposite. The opposite? According to my producer, music has a certain global quality. Global. Multicultural, if you will. Hard to pin to one region. When people listen to it, They picture the country closest to their hearts. Which is why my music has reached so many. What a lovely story. Sounds like this producer might have known what he was doing after all. My songs are nothing more than a white canvas. To me, the real landscape painters are the listeners. When I think of that, I do not mind how I am represented to the world so much. Oh, sorry. So silly as it may sound, I had to pretend I could see. Was that to protect your image as the landscape painter in sound? It does not matter so much to me, really. But the label is quite concerned about it, I think. Landscape painter who can't see. That's like a pianist who can't play, huh? I'm not sure you can compare yourself to your father to Lamaror. The world of commercial music is filled with these little white lies. Nothing is sacred when it comes to publicity. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no others. When you say your staff, do you include Mr. Lettuce? Of course, he was my manager. So he knew, and that's what's been bugging me. Something the matter, Mr. Justice? I believe I know what's bothering our young defense attorney. You are thinking of when you discovered the body, yes? Is he right, Apollo? Yes, I was. He's alive. Mr. Lettuce, can you hear me? Why do we have to keep looking at this fucking flashback? Can't see. Oh, he just can't see. He can see, but she can't. The witness is Siren. Mr. Lettuce told me to ask the witness and he named you. So I keep fat fingering the right click button. Why would he do that? He knew you were blind. I don't know. Tisk tisk. What did I just say? You need to learn to think for yourself. Meaning what? There's no mystery here if you recall everything he said. Think of his last words once more. The witness Siren? We've heard them many times, along with a little play acting by our defense. I remember them well myself. That statement is not what I referred to. I mean, what he said before that? Before? What came before that? That's right, he tried to tell you. When he said he can't see, he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about the witness. I see. Too bad the defense did not. Oh, okay. Well, her forehead? Try relaxing and looking at the facts first next time. Yeah. Order, order. Recall Lamaror's earlier testimony. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. But she couldn't have heard those gunshots. I thought we proved that. That's not the most important point here. The moment he was shot, Mr. Lettuce witnessed her through that window. Why, what else would he have named her as the witness? Ah. But I really did hear them. 2 gunshots and the man's voice. Unfortunately, such a thing was impossible. The window was closed. You have already run a simulation, of course. It was so clear. If I heard that voice again, I would know it in an instant. Your Honor. What is it, bailiff? Can't you see we're in session here? We have the results back from the investigation. The investigation? Ah, the Interpol number that Mr. Lettuce left us. Well, let's hear it. We will continue this cross-examination afterward. Detective Crescent, your report, please. I asked Interpol about that number. I'm sure you'll find their answer intriguing. It was his, wasn't it? Quick work as always, Darian. Well, tell us about the number. Is the defendant a secret agent? IPXX 314206. The agent registered under this number was Romaine Lettuce. What? Our undercover Interpol agent was Mr. Lettuce himself. He is apparently in the middle of an operation. So when he wrote those letters, he was trying to tell us his own identity. That cautious killer tried to wipe them away. Mr. Lettuce was an undercover Interpol agent. So him being Lemroar's manager, it's just a cover most likely. There's one other important detail I found. Well, out with it. It concerns that 45 caliber revolver, the murder weapon. Apparently it belonged to Romaine Lettuce. He had an Interpol permit to carry firearms. And the registration number on the revolver matched. So the victim was killed with his own weapon, which makes sense. It's hard to imagine someone who was an Interpol agent with such a large revolver. The victim was an Interpol agent on an undercover op. I wonder how that ties into everything. It's got to tie in somehow, you'd think. Yeah, somehow. Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescent. It's a great help. Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out. Wait. Lammermore, is something the matter? That voice just now. Darian? Mr. Darian, is it? It was him. I'm sure of it. It was him? You aren't saying... That voice I heard talking to Mr. Lettuce when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him. It was Mr. Darian. Is this some kind of a joke? What? No way. The courtroom fell into such a chaotic state the trial had to be suspended temporarily. I'd never seen that happen before. Of course, it's not every day that you get an accusation like that one. Lammermoor fingering Darian Crescent. Not only is he a guitarist, he's a detective. Could it really have been his voice Lammermoor heard? Things were changing fast, and frankly, I wasn't sure I could keep up with it. Hey, no wimping out now, Apollo. Gasp. Alright. It's been a long stream. It felt like a long stream. It's only been 2 hours. Stop flicking me with your ear. Ignatia sounds all right, Ignatia. The raid message will be blind raid. If you don't got that raid emote, feel free to use whatever you got. I hope everybody had a good time watching. I shall, quite frankly, be getting some cookies and milk. That's what I'm going to do. And yeah. Sleep well, eat well, nap well, drink well. Well. Have a good night.